Hi, I'm Bob Nystrom.
Hi, this is Bo Dietl.
Hey, this is Rich Big Daddy Salgado.
Hi, this is Doc Goodney, and you're watching Sports Biz.
Sports Biz.
Sports Biz with LD. Sports fans, this is Sports Biz with LD.
Welcome to Sports Biz with LD. I'm your host, Larry Davis, brought to you by the Rampart Group Insurance. For all your insurance needs, RampartGroupInsurance.com. 388 Restaurant and Lounge, 388 Willis Avenue in Roslyn, New York. A1 VIP Entertainment for all your ticket needs. And if you want to meet and greet different celebrities, A1 VIP Entertainment, and of course, the Daily Blue. Without the Daily Blue, we would not be here. You could tweet me, SportsBiz with LD. You could Facebook, SportsBiz with LD. And of course, our website, handled by David L. Martin, our producer himself, SportsBizWithLD.com. Now, today, I can't believe it, but my co-host today, the owner of the Daily Blue, and everything else she's got going on, Karin Caro.
Thank you, Larry.
Well,
Great
thank
introduction for having me here. You know I know nothing about sports, so congratulations.
I don't believe that. You're running 4 children, honey. They're into sports. You know something.
Okay, I know how to be a taxi. I get them
So
to
you're a
and
driver.
from. I'm a driver, yeah.
That's not a bad thing. You know, as long as you get them there on time.
Yeah, and I'm also, injury protective. Hey, football is going to be really not good. Don't play it. But I want to play. Please don't play it. Yeah, I really want to play. Okay, I'll bring you there. Please be protective. Wear all your stuff. Wear your helmet.
I was going to say, that's the only way. Make sure to have all their helmet,
Yeah.
their gear, and too bad I don't think we got a shot, but you put the helmet on before we went on.
It's tweeted. It's tweeted. It's already out there, that helmet shot. Yeah, I'm concerned with the safety of the kids in sports, and that's just the truth. And my kids play things like, wrestling and football and lacrosse and that kind of stuff. It's just gonna, inevitably, I think, for a mom is worrisome.
Seems like the football is the most worrisome. A lot of mothers
Yeah.
are all about the football. And, in today's NFL, they just settled in, it's close to $1 billion
Really?
lawsuit on ex-players with concussions
Right.
and brain problems.
Really?
Yes.
Today?
I would say probably, it was probably about 6 months ago, it was around $750 million.
Wow.
And I totally just didn't agree with it because that is nothing. I mean, it sounds like a lot of money, but it really isn't. And I think there's over 5,000 players, former players, who were on the lawsuit. And then when it went to the judge to approve it, I think it was really 760 or 765. When it went to the judge to approve, and I think it was done in Philadelphia, the judge said, this is not enough. Said,
Really?
you need to give more. And now I think they're close to $1 billion.
Wow. But what's the claim? I mean, if they're, an adult and this is the sport of their choice, that they're making a lot of money and that's their vocation, it's, to me, it's not, what's the claim?
I think the claim is that you didn't tell me that I could become this sick. I might get a concussion, okay, but no one told me that after I leave football, my brain would still be problematic.
Right.
There are guys who ended up committing suicide because they just couldn't deal with the trauma after being out of the NFL. And then there are plenty of players, besides the brain injury, just their bodies are injured and they're not what they thought they'd be when they left. So I don't know whether that disclaimer was in there like you're talking about.
Right.
And then again, they went for the lawsuit and it looks like they're going to win.
Wow.
So, and again, you're talking about the NFL, which does $9 billion per year.
Yeah.
Per year.
Yeah. Well, they also pay their players really well, though.
Some
right?
do.
Some
the NFL,
players?
good point, but the NFL is the only of the major sports, baseball, basketball, football, hockey, of those four, that the contracts are not guaranteed.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That I would say that I'd look at the NFL Players Union and I say, how weak are you guys? How are you not able to say, no, we want guaranteed contracts? But they don't have them.
Wow.
So that is a wow.
Okay, that's a
that is
concern.
surprising.
Sure.
That is a concern. So you as a mother.
Yeah, I mean, the football is, I think it's very clear to the public that football and brain injury it's a huge topic. And not that, there haven't been baseball incidents and injuries or wrestling. When I watch my kids wrestle, I can't even watch. I can't even watch. And they're very good. They're very, very good, but I can't watch. Their face is smushed into the mat, and they're in all sorts of angles, and I'm very scared for them.
So, I mean, a girl like you who tweets everything in this world is not tweeting their son's face smashed like that?
No, sorry, Larry.
Just
no.
making sure.
I'll send you a private picture.
Or a private tweet?
Actually, speaking about wrestling, we have Mick Foley coming to the studio on Monday.
Oh, Mick Foley,
he's
love
gonna
Mick.
be recording
WWE.
Yes.
But when he started, it was the WWF.
That's what I remember when I was a kid.
He's missing one tooth, right? Doesn't he come in with the missing tooth, or does he have one now?
I don't know. Mick is my neighbor. I love Mick. He's a great, great guy.
He's written some books.
He's going to be recording a children's book on Monday. And,
love it.
And he's just a genuinely wonderful, sweet guy. As big as he is, he's just such a big, huge teddy bear. And I can't picture him as sweet as he is in the scenarios that he's been in. He's just so kind. And his wife, Colleen, just...
It's very interesting that some of the athletes now are writing children's books.
Yeah.
Derek Jeter, who just did a big deal with Simon & Schuster to write some books. Someone I introduced you a couple of weeks ago at an event at the Carlton in Eisenhower Park, Tiki Barber and his brother. And I told you that Tiki Barber and his brother Rondé, they're twins, they wrote about 8.
Yeah,
I shouldn't say about. They wrote 8
Yeah.
children's books. The children's books from the athletes are getting big. And I'm sure Mix will be great because that WWE is just a powerful, powerful PR machine.
I agree. I definitely agree. What I love really about Mick is we asked him to read to medically frail children and their families, and he dressed up as Santa Claus. He grows the full beard, colors it gray, has a big beard, and maybe he doesn't color it gray. I don't know. Maybe that's just it. I don't know. But he sits there and has kids come on his lap, and he's in the Santa suit, and he reads children's books to them at Christmas and reads 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. It's just beautiful. He's a really good guy.
That's good stuff.
You talk about that all the time on your show. Athletes who use what they've done for the good and help of others, or to just to even extend a hand, and how excited the families get that he shows up.
It's interesting you bring that up, the segue into what I have. The ESPYs is the awards in sports, the ESPN, which is the worldwide leader in sports. They created many years ago, it was probably 10 years, I would think, the ESPYs. So basically in sports, it's the Oscars, the Academy Awards, something like that. And it was in Las Vegas about a week and a half ago. And Stuart Scott has been on ESPN since '93 and rose to one of the highest of the Sports Center guys. Just like every news show you see, he was on Sports Center, which is their nightly show. So he was up there, right up there with probably the top 5 personalities in ESPN. And a little known fact was he has cancer. He's been fighting cancer since 2007.
Wow.
A very, very emotional speech that he did at the ESPYs. We have it, courtesy of ESPN. It's a few minutes. I'd like to play it. Mike is going to get it ready for us, and then you and I will talk about it.
Sure.
And there were no dry eyes in Vegas when Stuart Scott made the speech. Michael,
Let's
thank
hear
you.
it.
What you didn't see in the piece is what's gone on probably the last 10 days. I just got out of the hospital this past Friday. 7-day stay. Man, I crashed. I had liver complications. I had kidney failure. I had 4 surgeries in a span of 7 days. I had tubes and wires running in and out of every part of my body. And guys, when I say every part of my body, every part of my body. As of Sunday, I didn't even know if I'd make it here. I couldn't fight. But doctors and nurses could. The people that I love, my friends and family, they could fight. My girlfriend, who slept on a very uncomfortable hospital cot by my side every night, she could fight. The people that I love did last week what they always do. They visited, they talked to me, they listened to me, they sat silent sometimes. They loved me. And that's another one of the components of the V Foundation. This whole fight, this journey thing is not a solo venture. This is something that requires support. I called my big sister Susan a few days ago. Why? I needed to cry. It was that simple. And I know that I can call her. I can call my other sister Cynthia, my brother Stephen, my mom and dad, and I can just cry. And those things are very important. I have one more necessity. Yeah, it's really two. Two very vibrant, intelligent, beautiful young ladies. The best thing I have ever done, the best thing I will ever do, is be a dad to Taylor and Sydney. It's true. I can't ever give up because I can't leave my daughters. Yes, sometimes I embarrass them. Sometimes they think I'm a tyrant. That's a direct quote. There is an adjective that describes tyrant too, but I'm not going to go there. But Taylor and Sydney, I love you guys more than I will ever be able to express. You two are my heartbeat. I am standing on this stage here tonight because of you. My oldest daughter, Taylor, I wanted her to be here, but college sophomore, summer school, second semester, starting this week. Baby girl, I love you, but you go do you. You go do that. My littlest angel is here, my 14-year-old. Sydney, come up here and give Dad a hug because I need one. I want to say thank you, ESPN. Thank you, ESPYs. Thank all of you. Have a great rest of your night and have a great rest of your life.
Wow. I don't even know how many hits that got on YouTube. 6 figures, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know, he got awarded the Jimmy V Award. Jimmy V grew up here in Seaford, ended up becoming a college basketball coach. Coached in, I think it was 1983, huge upset, and his team, North Carolina State, won the NCAA basketball tournament. A few years later, he's diagnosed with cancer, and they started the Jimmy V Foundation for Cancer.
Okay.
His words from Jimmy V's speech were, "Don't give up, don't ever give up." And that's the award he got. And I got to tell you, as a parent, and you as a parent, wow, it's moving. You know what he said? Tubes in every part of his body. Didn't even think he's there to accept the award.
Right. Incredible. The love and support for the family that he acknowledges how people are going through this around him, with him. It's that he didn't focus it on himself. I think that was the most compelling thing to me, that he's, you know, telling people that, again, somebody powerful, telling somebody who may be sitting in bed or sitting in a hospital bed right now, listen, this is what you're dealing with, and think about those around you for a second who have to deal with this as well.
This is what this stuff's all about, right? The sports, the Mick Foley, you know, the things that, you know, people need for people to do.
Yeah. Well, you had me on the episode. We couldn't talk about all sports. We had to get on mushy, you know.
We
That's
have
what
a
we're
little more
doing.
mushy stuff
We
to
do.
go.
I love it.
Stuart
Changing the whole
Scott,
show.
we hope you make it, because, you know, watch on Sports Center, you do a great job, and that stuff moves everybody.
Yeah.
Move along a little bit off my chest. That's what we really call this all the time. A couple other things in sports I wanted to get your take on.
Uh-oh.
It's not, you know, sports.
Oh, good.
Gentleman David Tyree, years ago in
I
the
heard that
Super
name.
Bowl, yes. He made an unbelievable catch for the Giants
Okay.
in 2007.
Okay.
Giants win the Super Bowl. His catch was what made it happen. He actually caught it on his helmet.
Okay.
Great
really?
catch. Yeah.
On the helmet.
Ball was on the helmet. Eli Manning was going to get sacked. Sacked is then going to tackle. He threw the ball, and it held on his helmet, and the Giants go on to win the Super Bowl.
Impressive.
So he's been around, doing appearances, and the Giants decide to hire him for a job that is called the Director of Player Development. Is it a big job? No. Most of these jobs aren't. The ex-players come and they hang out and meet, and it's been big in the media because David Tyree months ago had made a very strong statement against gay marriage, and I'm going to read it to you.
Okay.
And you being a business owner, then I'm going to read to you the gentleman who's the general manager of the Giants, Jerry Reese, and what his comment was when everybody was saying, why did you hire a man who has these comments to make? His is David Tyree's comments. I don't agree with gay marriage because God doesn't agree with it. Society may be changing, but God doesn't. I could still be in a locker room with a gay man and love him as a teammate. I can be tolerant, but people are not tolerant of people with views like me. If you don't agree, quote again, if you don't agree with that lifestyle, you are a bigot. I am not a bigot. I just have different viewpoints. Now, I totally have no problem with anything. I could care less. Doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah.
Do whatever the heck you want.
Right.
My question to you, as an owner of a business, of the Daily Blue and many other businesses that you're involved in, and again, this is the New York Giants, it's all over the country, so no disrespect to your businesses, but they're on a lesser level, but you're in the PR world.
Sure.
Would this bother you, and knowing this before you hired someone, that they had these strong comments?
I think that to be a public person and to make strong comments like that can inadvertently hurt the quality or the presence of the team. But again, from a PR standpoint, he's saying, look, what we have in the locker room, you're still a teammate, and that's fine. But I just don't agree with that. He has the right to his opinion. I just think that being a public figure and it being of such importance in the world today, maybe it's not a good idea to speak that mind. But the Giants maybe knew this, and again, some PR, has he really said anything wrong to some degree? It's like he put it out there, and it's bringing PR. We're talking about it, right?
And it's interesting. Honesty is the best policy, and he said this not to get the job. Let me give you the comments of the general manager of the Giants, Jerry Reese, the man who hired him.
Okay.
We do our due diligence on everyone we try and hire around here, meaning the New York Giants. David was qualified. He was number one. He was qualified, and we think he's a terrific fit for us.
So he's qualified for the job. They obviously knew his standpoint. It's just, again, coming out to the public and saying that, and it inadvertently can hurt or affect some of the people that may support the Giants. It may turn them off.
Yeah.
This is a huge issue right now. A few years back, I ran the first same-sex wedding in New York State. We were the first people to get down to the courthouse and, support
Men
that.
or women, or it didn't matter?
It was two women, and the whole wedding from soup to nuts was out there. Newsday covered it, and TLC covered it. The Cake Boss was on, made the cake. This was, I think, a movement to say this is okay. And as the years have gone on, people have embraced the subject quite a bit more. So to say something publicly like that will turn a lot of people off. But was it a play to get attention? The owners, obviously, the managers obviously know what, like they're acknowledging that they did due diligence on this guy, and that he feels the need to say that. I mean, I don't know the conversation prior or what was leading up to that.
Right, that's a good point.
Why this is even a subject. No. Does it affect his job? No. What the reasoning was to have to say a comment like that, I really just don't know. But he's making it clear, as Lydia would say, abundantly clear.
I Love Lydia show?
Everything Lydia?
Oh, I say everyone loves Lydia. Yeah. That's what I call it.
Really?
So everyone loves Lydia, because I do. And who doesn't
of course
love Lydia?
we do love Lydia.
You know.
So she would say he has made it
Doesn't
abundantly
she have the number
clear.
one rated show on your channel, maybe, on the Daily Blue?
You're cornering me. I do not want to make comments that my management would disagree with. So I don't know what the comments or why this.
I think he made these comments. This is how he felt, and then the Giants ended up hiring him. And I think there are people out there.
Oh, they hired him afterwards.
They hired him after he made the comments.
Okay.
Not that he made the comments, then they hired him. Probably made him 6 months ago, and now.
Sure. Okay, well,
Another
that's his
thing.
standpoint, and if that, I don't think is going to affect his job, but will it affect the support of the community, especially the gay community, or people that support that and feel?
I would say, in closing, he's not getting their support.
Right.
In that the gay community, it's not going to happen.
Right, and that's a shame. overall.
It is a shame. It is a shame, but that's his opinion. The Giants hired him, and the Giants going to have to deal with that as part of hiring him. You got to take what he said, and now he's a public figure working for the Giants, not used to be a player.
Right.
Another comment out there, there was a gentleman named Tony Dungy. Tony Dungy was the Super Bowl winning head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a few years back. Now he's on NBC, the NFL show, major show, one of the top-rated shows in the country when the NFL is on.
Okay.
A gentleman named Michael Sam, who also was at the ESPN.
How do you know all this?
Because people tweet to me. And,
Oh, is that what they do?
That's how I learned.
Okay.
PR people help me.
Oh, I need to study a bit.
So Michael Sam
Okay.
came out last year as a collegiate player before the draft to play in the NFL and said, I'm gay,
Okay.
and let everyone know he's gay. He gets drafted in the NFL. 7th round draft pick by the St. Louis Rams. Tony Dungy just came out the other day, and he was drafted months ago. He was drafted in April.
Right.
Tony Dungy says about Michael Sam, if he was still the head coach, media attention will be a distraction. This is the head coach saying this.
Okay.
But his being gay will not distract him or organization, was the clarified statement they made. Tony Dungy's statement was, I don't think I will be able to manage him in the locker room because there'll be so many other things that will go on in the media and other players because we have a gay player on the team.
Really?
Yes, that's what he said.
Really? So what resulted? What's the result?
Well, the result is that Tony Dungy is just making a comment out there. Again, why would he make a comment? You know, there's no reason to stir it up, but he's saying as a coach, I would have a problem in the locker room dealing with a gay player because there'd be a lot of distractions.
But he's saying with the media is the distraction.
With the media and maybe with other players. Listen,
Maybe,
you know,
okay.
again, we're in a society that
Yeah.
there are other players. Listen, they walk around the locker room nude.
Okay.
Some
but,
guys might not be cool with that.
You know what? I think that people need to, if they're not cool with that, then go in the shower and shut the door. Make accommodations for your best players that aren't comfortable with that. But I think people need to compartmentalize that this is your job and emotion kills business. So why involve your emotion into the business? Someone very smart taught me that. So why involve your emotion or your preference into the locker room? This is part of your job. And if you come to the coach and say, this makes me uncomfortable, then you make accommodations to be secluded or removed from it, you know, or that, you know, maybe he shouldn't be around that. I don't know. So that's a preference.
Well, I guess that's why he's basically saying that if he was in that position, he might not have drafted this player because he doesn't want to have to deal with all that. There's enough to deal with is basically what I think he's saying.
Yeah. Well, we all have to make concessions and work with each other, and that's what makes a great team.
Right.
We are understanding and we make concessions. And yet, you know, his private life should be compartmentalized into his private life, and we have to work with this. This is when we have to make concessions to be a great team. Then we do that. Listen, people were uncomfortable when with racism. I mean, there's
Right, that's a good point.
There's or having women around. You know, come on. So,
Women in the workplace. I mean,
Yeah,
women
sure.
being bosses. How about that? You probably
Yeah.
deal with that every day.
Sure, I
Probably
do.
don't get the respect you deserve.
There's a huge ego that can have, you know, and for a woman, when you are degraded or you're not as felt as an equal in any relationship, that it's, again, whether it's because you're a woman or if you're gay or
A
if,
minority, basically you're a minority.
Absolutely. So to feel like you're not an equal in any situation, that's awful. It's not a great feeling. So I think that as a team, you have to say, we're a team here. So what do we have to do for everyone to feel comfortable? I want to make you feel comfortable. It's about communication and compromise.
Before we leave the NFL, one other thing that really bothers me. Commissioner of the NFL. Again,
Okay.
here's another one for you. I'm giving you all these things because you're a boss, and what would your decisions be?
Okay.
This is
Really?
Whether you're a man or a woman.
Who knew I was not
Yes.
really? I was an equal host here.
Was. Now you're not. Now you're on a hot seat.
I see that.
So
okay.
there's a gentleman named Ray Rice.
Okay.
Grew up right here in New Rochelle, played with the Baltimore Ravens, won a Super Bowl. Ends up that there is video from 6-7 months ago in the offseason of him and his fiancee at the time at the Revel Casino in Atlantic City, showing him hitting her and dragging her out of the elevator.
Wow.
Now, that kind of stuff in the NFL and most of these major sports, there's very little tolerance.
Yeah.
Here's my prompt. He came in and his wife came in, spoke to the NFL commissioner and said they're sorry, and he did a press conference. I've never really seen him say publicly to her, I'm sorry.
Okay.
They're getting help, all these kind of things.
Okay.
Here's my prompt. If you smoke marijuana and get caught in the NFL for smoking marijuana, the commissioner will give you a 4-game suspension.
Right.
Okay, and here's mine. He hands down the Ray Rice verdict of what he's doing and how many games he's going to suspend this player. How many games do you think he suspended this player for hitting a woman and dragging her out of the elevator?
I don't know.
The
Larry.
NFL season is 16 games.
Okay.
What would you do?
I have I have no tolerance for
Right.
violence.
Okay.
Sorry.
So he gave 4 games to smoking marijuana. A season is 16 games. So you're saying you have no tolerance. And again,
Yeah.
you need to show everyone who plays in the National Football League
Conduct
that this is
yourself in a manner.
unacceptable.
It's unacceptable.
So how many games would you have given him if you had to hand down the suspension? Would it be a whole year?
Maybe a whole year. I think that
Okay.
hurting someone else, woman or not, you're representing our team, and how you conduct yourself, I think it's animalistic to behave that way.
Right.
And you're teaching the kids of your community, of this world, that's okay. You're telling women that's okay. You're telling your teammates that's okay if I punch you. That again is not teamwork.
Unacceptable.
So, no, unacceptable.
Okay, so here's why this is on the show.
Okay.
He gave him 2 games.
I knew you were
That's
gonna say
it.
Yeah.
What the heck is 2 games? He's
Yeah.
basically saying, you know something? It's okay.
Let me slap you. but
Yeah,
it's
let me slap you on the wrist. It's okay. Why
Yeah.
don't you slap your girlfriend around, beat her up, and it's on video.
Right.
Because there's videos all over the casino.
Well, in my mind, she's saying, "Hey, we're getting help, and we're okay, and we're doing this and this and this."
So
and
please
that's
be
fine.
nice. It's okay.
It's okay, but that may be a situation that she is being controlled, and she still may be even being beaten up at home, or controlled, or manipulated, and it's just that's awful.
And all of a
It's
sudden,
just
she was a
awful.
fiance when this happened. A couple
Yeah.
months later, they got married.
Okay, but
Let's get married, make everything okay. We're talking millions of dollars here. Is this acceptable? And
Yeah.
not that I know a lot about this, but when you hear about battered women, it wasn't the first time. You think about that. You know
And
what
it
I mean?
won't be the last.
And it won't be the last.
There's not just a physical abuse that goes along with stuff like that. There's an emotional abuse. It's a mental abuse. There's a whole bunch of things that go along with that, and that's just not fair. So what she's dealing with, I don't know. But if I were the leader of that, I would want to look into who's this guy, and he's representing us, and what kind of temper is going to come out later on in this. What do we have to deal with, down the line with somebody as volatile as this?
And just one last statistic about the NFL, and just to show you about the money. Before the NFL season even starts, just from the TV contract, not radio, not any of the marketing you see in the stadium, not anybody saying I'm the official car of the NFL, just what they get from the 2 major stations, Channel 2, Channel 2, Channel 4, ESPN, and Direct TV, and Channel 5. So you have 4 different TV networks that are paying for the NFL to broadcast their games.
Yeah.
Each team, Karim, before the season starts, gets $200 million.
Wow.
Now, what are we doing
Right.
when he's just slapping this player 2 games?
I mean,
unacceptable.
Unacceptable, especially when bullying is a huge thing in schools. And if you are a bully in a
That's
school,
a
you're going to
good
be
point.
suspended for an entire
Right.
week, and it's your parents' responsibility all of a sudden to figure out what you.
And will one of these bullies say, well, Ray Rice only got 2 games for hitting his girlfriend? The NFL says it's okay.
What are we teaching our kids?
What are we teaching
That's
our
the
kids?
future.
I'm not happy about that.
And there's no way that a kid that's doing things like that. First of all, if he did that, that's grounds for arrest. He's going to
Right.
be arrested.
Good point.
Come on. He did that to anyone else, he would be in jail, and then
As
he can't play football.
He
so,
should be. Right.
So come on.
So-
You just don't put your hands on another individual, and we don't condone that. That's my view on that. I don't care if he was the best player in the world and we had to say he's done. Sorry. And I think that shows a really strong integrity and ethic of the NHL or NFL. Whatever. Anybody.
Any team.
Any team, anyone. Exactly.
Moving right along.
Yes.
It's amazing, and we're almost over. A friend of the
Yeah.
show is a company called MAB Celebrity. This weekend is the Hall of Fame, meaning in the Baseball Hall of Fame is inducting in Frank Thomas, Tom Glavine, Greg Maddux, Joe Torre, who was the manager of the Yankees.
Love him. I know
Tony
that name.
La Russa, and Bobby Cox. We don't have
Okay.
time to talk about them. We just want to let everyone know.
Oh.
MAB is having a Cooperstown show. They've been a great friend of our show, getting athletes on the show. This week I didn't have it because I have Karin Caro on. That's my celebrity right there. I didn't really need an athlete. A mother of athletes I felt was good enough. But we just want to let everyone know, go to mabcelebrity.com this weekend at the Tuncliffe Inn, 3436 Pioneer Street in Cooperstown, New York. Special appearances by Reggie Jackson, Johnny Bench, Joe Morgan, Don Sutton, Dave Winfield, Ozzie Smith, and many, many more. Go to her show, get your autographs, get your photos. She runs a great show and a friend of us here at Sports Biz with LD.
Good stuff.
In the future, a couple of guests I have I'm working on. Coach Spagnola, Steve Spagnola, was defensive coordinator of the Giants in 2007. Moved on to be the head coach of St. Louis Rams. Now he's with the Baltimore Ravens. And one that I'm really proud of, I think is going to be coming on in September, is the owner of the Nets and the Barclay Center, Mr. Bruce Ratner.
Nice.
We're out of time. That's the way it goes. I want to thank my sponsors, Rampart Group Insurance, for all your insurance needs. I want to thank 388 Restaurant and Lounge, and Corinne, just so you know, special gift for you from 388.
Nice, really?
Please take your husband AJ for dinner
Nice.
on our show.
Nice.
Okay.
Thank you.
A1 VIP Entertainment for all your ticket needs, and if you want to meet the celebrities, VIP Entertainment. A1 VIP Entertainment is
Good
your
people.
place. We got to thank the Daily Blue. Just happen to have the big macha, the big shot here on the show.
Was I
today.
okay?
Oh, we'll let our people say. We'll let our fans know.
I didn't even get to poke a little fun at sports that I know nothing. You didn't. You were easy, gentle.
Well,
Thank
because
you.
we had some important points to talk about
We
today.
did.
We
Okay.
wanted your opinions. Again, you could see me, sportsbizwithld.com. You could tweet me, sportsbizwithld, and Facebook, sportsbizwithld. I want to thank Corinne. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. I'm Larry Davis, the host, Sports Biz with LD.
Sports Biz is sponsored by the Rampart Insurance Group for all your insurance needs. Special thanks to mintpros.com. Brought to you by the Daily Blue Network. Sports fans, this is Sports Biz with LD.